A high-stakes summit in Alaska could end the war in Ukraine, but the price might be access to the country's vast mineral wealth.
Now, the Insider 360 breakdown.
Good evening. U.S. President Donald Trump is preparing for a critical summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska this Friday, with the stated goal of securing a ceasefire in the Ukraine war. In a virtual meeting today, European leaders expressed cautious optimism, while stressing that any deal concerning territory must involve Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. To facilitate a deal, the Trump administration is reportedly preparing a package of powerful financial incentives for Moscow. These include potentially giving Russia access to rare earth mineral deposits in Ukraine's occupied territories and lifting some sanctions on Russia's hard-hit aviation industry. The talk of incentives has European leaders on edge. French President Emmanuel Macron said the call with Trump clarified his intentions, while German Chancellor Friedrich Merz insisted Ukraine must be at the table for any follow-up meetings. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk was more blunt, stating that Europe must convince President Trump that Russia cannot be trusted. For its part, Russia's position appears unchanged. A foreign ministry spokesperson today reiterated the conditions President Putin laid out in June of last year. Moscow's demands include Ukraine withdrawing from 4 partially occupied regions and officially abandoning its ambitions to join NATO. President Zelensky, however, remains wary of Moscow's promises. He told allies that Putin is bluffing about the ineffectiveness of Western sanctions and urged them to apply even more pressure. Zelensky is convinced that any territory Russia is allowed to keep would simply become a springboard for future invasions. In a more optimistic development, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer praised President Trump's efforts, saying real progress has been made on security guarantees for Ukraine. He added that a coalition of the willing, led by the UK and France, stands ready to deploy a reassurance force once a ceasefire is in place. The complexities of a potential deal are immense. Reports suggest that one idea raised in discussions was using Israel's control over the West Bank as a model for Russia to maintain influence in occupied Ukrainian territories. With Ukraine holding 10% of the world's lithium reserves, much of it in those same territories, the economic stakes are incredibly high.
As this story develops ahead of Friday's summit, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching.